Are you ready?
My coach, Barbara H. Smith. Why did I hire her? Because she's the best.
Barbara H. Smith is a powerhouse. She just walks in the room and grabs your attention, and she does that in a way that just makes you feel loved and like she's paying attention to you, she cares about you, and she wants to see you be your best self.
She was able to dig inside and find the passion that was deep within me.
Barbara's energy is one of the reasons that I had to have her as my coach. I loved the way she is real with people.
The reason I felt like I needed a coach was because I have some big goals and I needed to build my confidence. I knew that Barbara could help me do that.
I felt that I could trust her.
I would definitely recommend to get coaching from Barbara H. Smith if you feel like you need to level up your confidence. She would just help you feel like bold, like you can take on the world.
She has really shown me who I am. She has changed my mindset to a place that I know that I am more powerful today than I would have ever been if I had never met Barbara Smith.
Here we go. Here we go. It's a Thursday. As a matter of fact, Thursday, December the 15th. It's my mama's birthday. Happy birthday, Mama. I hope you are listening and watching. I'm broadcasting live from sunny Riverside, California today, and that's why my background doesn't look the same. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm excited that this is almost the last couple of weeks in the year. 10 days till Christmas. Can you believe it? Well, let me introduce you to somebody who makes my Christmas, my everyday bright, the sensational Shawnee Smooth Smith.
Oh, you're too kind. But don't think that intro is going to get you out of bringing me back something from sunny California. Okay. I am so happy that you joined us today.
Listen, it was almost not happening.
The little swap there. Although you introduced,
it was almost not happening.
I'm going to be running the show today, so I'm really excited about that.
I love it. I love it. So you go ahead. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you do, Shawnee, for the show, for BHS and Associates. The team is a phenomenal team. Dr. Terry James, you, Mark Lee, all of the people behind the scenes that make this show what it is. I appreciate you all. I also want you to know we have some exciting things coming up in the new year. We'll let you know more about that very shortly towards the bottom of the show. But thank you again, Shawnee. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, let me tell you something real quick. Go run and grab your notebook because you're going to want to take notes because the guest that we have today is unmatched. I don't even want to say powerhouse because that's playing it too small. Now, if you don't take notes, you can also watch the replay and I'll give you that link in a bit. Douglas Eze, listen, he's the founder and CEO of Largo Financial Services, 5-time American Classic Agency ACE Award winner, #1 Division of American Classic Agency, co-founder of Camway, a global vehicle GPS tracking device. He's the co-founder of Sebenza, most advanced service provider platform, the co-owner of American Classic Agency, author of the book, Creating Generational Wealth, a philanthropist, a real estate investor, and I could go on and on and on. Let me bring to the stage, Mr. Douglas Eze.
I go to the bank, I borrow $35,000. They charge me 3% interest, pay us back over 5 years. So the monthly payment is $628 a month. I make a first month's payment because I wanted to reflect on my credit report that I owe $35,000. So I go to my insurance policy, take the loan for $35,000, pay off the bank. I don't owe the bank anymore. The bank also reports to the credit bureau and say, hey Douglas, thank you for making the payment. And they tell other banks, anytime Douglas wants to borrow money, give him money. He pays back his debt on time. Now, not only did I just raise my personal credit, I also raised my business credit all at the same time. So now I owe the insurance company. I need to pay them back quickly so that I could have access to more funds in the future when the right opportunity presents itself again.
Wow. No, that was a quick explanation, but I'm going to need you to break that down, because so many people want money, but they're really afraid to have the conversation about how to get it, because it seems like it's too hard to do. It seems too complicated. We know it's 2022. We know you don't need $100,000 to invest, but we're afraid to lose $500. So, Douglas, I know you're going to help us.
Yeah, definitely. How you doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So good to see you again.
Good evening, wherever you are in the world, because we have people watching all over, right?
I know, right?
Talk to me. How did you get into this? Tell me a little something. How you feeling today?
Well, I'm feeling great. It's a great day. It's awesome to be alive, right? Unfortunately, we saw the young man that passed away of suicide. But the guy that works for Ellen, the DJ. Yeah, that's crazy, right? But I've been in the financial service space for over 25 years. I'm also an entrepreneur, a philanthropist. Just got into this space. I was 24 years old when I got into the industry, and one of the things that got me curious was how the wealthy families keep wealth in the family forever. Because when you look at the wealthy families, some you've heard of Rockefeller, family, the Carnegies, all these families that continue to build generational wealth from one generation to the next. I just started researching them, just starting to understand what do they do differently from everybody else. Me being from West Africa, Nigeria, coming to America, not knowing nothing about money other than, my parents' money, because I was young, do everything young people did. So I pretty much said, if I'm going to be in this financial industry, I need to be able to, one, understand how to keep wealth. And the first thing I realized pretty fast was, money is like water. Water doesn't like to sit around and do nothing. If you pour water in a cup, put water in a cup, the water is like asking you, what do you want to do with me? Do you want to drink me? Do you want to use me to clean the house? You need to make a decision, because I'm not just designed to just sit in this cup and look pretty, right? I need to do something. If you ignore it and don't say anything to it and just don't do anything, it's going to start evaporating. And before you know it, the water will be gone, right? If you poke a hole in it, it's going to drain out pretty fast, right? So same thing with our money. Our money does two things. Either you're spending the money or saving the money. Now there's a difference between saving money and investing money. So firstly, where are you parking your money? Where's your financial bucket? Now, when you're pouring money in a cup and there's holes in that cup, you'll never fill it up, right? That's why so many people, don't matter how much money they make, but the question is where they put in the money after they make the money. And it's so important to understand what are the holes in your financial bucket. So some of the holes in people's financial bucket that we never really think about is the interest rate we're earning on the money. So if your money is sitting...
Can I stop you right there? Because I don't think that people really understand what you're saying. And I'm the people in this case, right? Because we are been taught year after year, generation after generation, save your money, save your money, save your money. And for a rainy day. And I like to say now, what I know today is that it's surely going to rain. It feels like whenever you finally get ends to meet, somebody goes and moves one of your ends and you're back to start, So how does one even understand what bucket, where to get that bucket if you don't have Largo Financial Services at your hand, which you do now. But if you didn't, how do you even understand? How do you know? Is there some kind of trigger that we can help people with?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in everything in life, like they always say, when a student is ready, the teacher appears, right? So, if the student is not ready, then, there's no way. So people got to do their own research. They got to start reading stuff, seeking knowledge, because there's no such thing as wasted knowledge, especially when you apply the knowledge that you get, right? So, I mean, where do you start looking? First is to understand, where's your money going? What is affecting your money? So when we talk about interest rate, yes, it's good to save money for that rainy day. But rainy day, we don't have an exact date for a rainy day, right? It could it could happen right now. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen next week, right? So the question now is, the money that I have saved for that rainy day, is it making money or is it just sitting? So when you look at the bucket where you're packing the money, like I said earlier regarding money and water, money doesn't like to sit around. That's why it disappears if you're not doing anything with it. So if you're working and having your money work for you while it's sitting and it's earning compounding interest, then it's going to grow. And then when an opportunity comes, an opportunity could be anything. Opportunity could be you investing in somebody's business. It could be you investing in the market. It could be anything. It could be investing in real estate. Or it could be a situation where you have to spend the money, for an emergency, right? So if I'm going to spend it for an emergency or invest it for business, which is also spending money, because when it leaves your hand, that's called spending. It's gone. It don't matter if you invested or you pay for something. Either way, it's out of your hand. So the question now is, when it leaves your hand, what are you doing to pay it back to yourself? So what I do is this. It don't matter if I'm investing my money in real estate or I'm using it for emergency. When I pay cash for anything, and whenever money leaves my hand, I treat that money as if I went to the bank and borrowed the money. So what do I mean? What do you mean by that? So, for example, if I'm going to invest $10,000 in something, in a business, let's say real estate, right? And I took $10,000 and I put it in real estate. I treat that $10,000 as if I borrowed the money from a bank, because what I've done, even though I put it in real estate, I've borrowed from my future person. That's called self-financing. So when I treat it as if I borrowed the money from a bank, and then I charge myself an interest so that I can start paying it back. In that way, when I pay it back, it could take me 3 years to pay it back, take me 5 years to pay it back, take me 10 years to pay it back, based on a systematic monthly payment that I've created, right? In that way, when I do pay back, right, when I do pay back, then I still have the $10,000 that's sitting in that deal. Now, if the deal makes me money before I finish paying it back, then I replenish and then keep the profit to do more deals.
That's so good. I got to chime in right there. I was feeling like maybe some people out there might be feeling. I'd spent all this time not knowing some of this knowledge. Am I too old to start investing and planning and saving?
No, I mean, you're never too old. As long as
Breathing, right?
you're never too old. The key is, are you still working and making money? So now, depending on your age, then your goal is different from everyone else. So if you look at where you are now, you have different sets of goals, right? Because you're no longer, so for example, you don't have the same goal you had when you were 30 years old. Exactly. So if you're still making income, then it's not too late. So the question now is, at this point in time, how many more years do you want to save money or grow the money, so that when you reach a certain amount of years, and you got to be realistic with everything. It's not saying, okay, I need to invest now so I can make money tomorrow immediately. There's no such investment unless, of course, you're willing to take some really aggressive risk. So the key is patience. Patience is very, very important, to have patience in everything we do, especially when it comes to planning for our future. So one thing that I do is I stack up my money. And then when an opportunity comes that makes sense for me, then I invest in that opportunity to make more money, because that's what an investment is. Investment is you taking advantage of an opportunity that presents itself so you could make more money.
Now, can I ask you a question? As far as the analogy of taking the $10,000 and paying the interest, how do you determine what the interest rate is going to be?
Perfect. Good question. So what I do is I go on any traditional bank's website. I go on their website and see what do they charge for personal loan, and they give you that information. Some banks might charge 5%. Some might, they might have a range between 5 to this amount of percentage, right? 18% I've seen. And then they tell you the term of the loan, meaning we can loan you this personal loan, because the banks can give you a personal loan for $10,000, and they say pay us between, you could do it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, 60 months. And they tell you what interest rate they're going to charge you for it. So what I do is I pick the rate that makes sense for my situation, because remember, I'm charging myself that interest. And I also pick the term that makes sense for my monthly payment. So, and I run the numbers, and then I start putting the money away in an account, because I want to treat it while my 10 grand is busy doing whatever I send it out to go do, because it needs to be working. So it's working in the sense that it's going to make me money in this real estate, because it could be a buy and hold real estate, meaning I put it with someone that says, listen, give me your 10 grand because I'm investing in a property in downtown or whatever, and I'll pay you, I guarantee you a 5% return for the next 4 years or 3 years, which is 5% every year. So that's 15% if it's 3 years. So that means my 10 grand in 3 years is going to make 15%. And then when that 15% comes back in 3 years, if I'm still paying my monthly payment, because now I'm 3 years in my monthly payment back, because now I'm paying myself back with interest, but it's simple interest. And then in 3 years, when that deal comes, then I just replenish, pay off the loan to my future person. So now my future person gets the 10 grand back plus interest, and then the compounding that it came back with in the investment that I did. So I went twice.
Now, is this something that you picked up when you were studying other wealthy families, or is this something that you created?
Just something that I created in my mind, because again, I kept saying to myself, every time we spend money, that's called self-financing. So when you self-finance, that means you pay cash. Because a lot of times we only think about financing when we go borrow money from a bank. But we don't think about financing when we borrow money from our own personal account. Because sometimes when we pay cash, we're like, oh yeah, I pay cash, I don't owe anybody. But the question you got to ask yourself is opportunity cost on your dollar.
Now that's what I want you to talk about. That opportunity cost you. When your little soldiers leave, your little green soldiers leave your hand, now you have lessened your opportunity to take that money and use it for some other investment. Talk some about that.
Yeah. So every time, so there's 4 C's I normally preach about when it comes to when you want to put away money, right? 4 C's. Gotta remember that. The first one is cost. C-O-S-T. Cost. Opportunity cost. For every dollar you could have saved, but you end up spending the dollar, imagine how much it would have worth in the future. Because you don't make interest when you spend money, right? Once you spend money, the money is gone. You cannot get it back. You can't access it again. So you always got to think of what happens if I invested or saved that money. The second C is control. Control of your money. Because you don't want to ever give up control of your money, which means if I'm saving my money, I want to be able to have full control of the money, to be able to access it so I could take advantage of an opportunity when it presents itself. So I want to always be in control of my money. The third C is what I call collateral capacity, meaning I want to be able to use my money as collateral to do whatever I want to do. For example, like the 10 grand I talked about. When I talk about my 10,000 and I want to use it to go invest in real estate or pay off a debt, I want to be able to use my 10,000 as collateral, and then I go to a financial institution and say, listen, loan me your money, and they give me their money, their 10,000. They charge me interest. I don't mind them charging me interest because I'm still making interest on my 10,000, and it's growing. And then I use their money to go do what I need to do, pay off a debt or invest the money. So I'm using other people's money. And the fourth C is compounding interest, meaning, and then I call it uninterrupted compounding interest, meaning my 10,000 is earning compounding interest, and I did not interrupt it by withdrawing it. Instead, I loaned against it by using it as collateral to go make more money by using somebody else's money. And then when I pay off that debt, my 10 grand has grown because it has compounded with whatever interest rate I'm earning on it. Even if I'm earning 1%, 2%, or whatever.
That's the definition of leverage.
Yes.
Now, I just want to make sure I got this. Okay. Say you want to splurge and you want to treat the family to an exotic vacation. Okay. And it's $10,000 because we've been using that number. Let's just keep using it. It's 10,000. So to be clear, you would take you would borrow the 10,000 from the bank for the vacation. Leave your 10,000 that you have, let it keep earning, and you're just going to pay that back. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, so where does somebody start if they're in a bad credit situation and no one wants to talk to them even about a payday loan? So how does somebody get started there?
So, one of the great things about the United States of America is the fact that the US has a product that so many people don't take advantage of because they're not too familiar with it. So that particular product is called cash value life insurance. So the US have cash value life insurance that's been around for hundreds of years, and wealthy families have been using it to leverage phenomenally. The reason they use it to leverage because it has a lot of benefit inside of it. So one of the benefits that it has is the ability to be able to borrow money regardless of your credit. So if you have bad credit, you could go to the insurance company and borrow money from them against the cash in your life insurance policy. Because life insurance policy is actually a parking garage to park money. And the one they use is what they call a cash value life insurance that earns compounding interest inside of it. And you could start as little as $100 a month, $150, but it has to be designed well to earn interest. And then the insurance company, if it's designed well, they could loan you money against the money you have. So in some cases, for example, if you are putting away $200 a month, so what happens is the difference between putting the money in the life insurance and putting the money at the bank is this. If I take $200 and I put with one of the traditional banks, the big banks, Bank of America, Chase, whoever, and I put $200 every month in that savings account for emergency situation, right? Well, emergency has a lot of different things. Emergency could be debts, right? That's debt. When you die, that's an emergency for my family because now they got to figure out how to bury me. Well, for them to get access to that $200, they have to go to court and a judge has to give them access to the money in their account because they're not in the account. In the meantime, while we're waiting for the judge to make the decision, it don't matter how much you have sitting in that account, your family could lose the house. they can't bury you. They're doing a GoFundMe and all that stuff. What if I take the same $200 and purchase life insurance that builds cash? So let's just say the same $200 a month immediately might give you, depending on your age, let's say it gives you $100,000. You pass away tomorrow, your family gets a check for $100,000 to take care of any financial emergency that is now happening in the family. And in addition to it, the insurance company is going to pay you interest on that money. So they're going to take their money to take care of the insurance, the $100,000 that you purchased. The remaining balance, they pay you interest on that. But all these things have to build well. And then you could go to the insurance company and say, listen, I got $200 a month that I'm giving you. I need to access 60% of it. Can you loan me 60% of my $200? And they'll give you up to 60% that month to use the next month if you want it. A lot of people don't know about that.
No. Wait, 60% of the 200 that you've put in, not
that you put in.
Okay. So now we're 4 months in. We're talking about $800. So we can
exactly
$800. What? You wait. Did you guys hear that? People in the back. No one knows that.
That's why you got to call Douglas. How do we reach you?
Yeah. So you could definitely send me an email, douglas@lagofinancialservices.com. That's the best way to reach, or you could check me out on IG, Instagram, and just watch some videos on there. You know, like the videos you saw earlier that I posted on how I use cash value insurance. You know, my IG is very simple. I am Douglas Eze. And I'll go on my website and get some more financial education. You know, Douglas at www.lagofinancialservices.com.
Douglas, I'm enlightened already. Yeah. And we've only glimmered over the surface of what you do. I mean, because you're not just dealing with teaching people how to use their money, you're helping them with the life insurance. And I have to know about this $1 Million Club. We're going to go for a break shortly, but when we come back, I need to know all about that. But Barbara, it looked like you were going to say something.
I was just saying, I got to figure out how to add his services to our packages.
No, because a lot of the worry and stress that we have on us is money. Let's face it, whether that's in your marital relationship, in business relationship. If you're single, you're trying to figure out how you're going to make it. Okay, you have one income coming in, and that's it. And eggs is $5 now. Okay, for anybody who doesn't know. So, you know, we're feeling stuck. And you have the solutions.
Yeah,
therefore. Just a regular everyday person. What can I do with? I have $100. I have $100 I can work with right now. What can I do?
Yeah, I mean, you know, what I'll say to, if you just have $100, you know, you gotta add more money to find an extra work to do. Right? You know, one thing I teach is this: at the end of the day, right? You know, when we're thinking about our future, you know, sometimes you got to make some sudden sacrifices. Even if you're trying to build this business dream that you might have, a business vision or whatever. But in the meantime, while you're building your business and that income ain't coming in that quickly like you expect it to, because starting a business doesn't mean you're going to become a millionaire the next day. In the meantime, you could find a way to continue to fund that business, even if you have to go work a job to have that job fund the business. In that way, you're not stressed out, because the bill collectors don't care about your business ideas. They don't care how good that business sounds. They want to get their money. And your future person is also saying, listen, you need to make the right decision today so we could live better in the future.
Right.
They don't even care if you live or die. I know I had an aunt that used to say she died, and they would say, is there anyone else I can talk to? Because they want their money. That's all they care about.
Yep.
You believe when somebody has a consultation with you, or these things that you go into, do you talk about like ways that maybe you can figure out another stream to help finance your dream?
Yeah, definitely I do. I mean, and today's world, things are so easy for someone to make money. The only reason a person is not going to make money is if they're not willing to work. I mean, there's loads of different ways to find, especially in social media today. There's different things you could do, depending on what kind of skill you have. If you have a skill, you can always capitalize on your skill. If you don't, then you could do affiliate marketing. Market somebody's product. In that way, they can share. You could share in the stuff that they're doing, right? Because I always ask people that DM me sometimes. Can you send me money? Can you do this? I say to them, well, what are you doing to support my business?
I got you.
I don't mind sending you money, but are you gonna? I've never seen you post my videos. I've never seen you reshare what I do. Send me some referrals. You might not be able to take advantage of my services right now, but you know what I do, and you might know somebody that might need my services that you could refer them to me. And if I have an affiliate program, depending on the services that we do, right? Then I'll offer, you get and then when you send me some money. When I think about all the referrals you're giving me, I'll send you some, right? Because there's some referral programs we have that you actually could make money on. But you gotta, so those are kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got you.
All right. This is some good stuff. Okay. We're going to take a break. But when we come back, I need to know about this $1 Million Club. Okay.
Awesome.
We'll be right back. Don't go away. I am a child of the Most High God. He has gifted me in ways that I could not even imagine and didn't know.
There was a time when I didn't know who I was. I listened to other people tell me who I should be, what I should do. I listened to people telling me that I should be a boutique owner, that I should be a construction manager, that I should be a laborer. Have you ever felt like you should do something else, be something else, go somewhere else, be wherever you wanted to be, and you felt like you were in a box? Anybody in the room? And you couldn't get out? Anybody in the room? And you kept trying to go and you couldn't get out? Anybody in the room? But let me tell you, you need to rock the box. Rock the box.
I am engaging, inspiring, and empowering. I would give you everything I know. Just by touching you, if I could, by osmosis, give you every single thing I've learned, I've gone through, I know I would. We know that's not possible, but as it is possible, I love to share information with people.
Some of you out there, people have told you that you can't be, you can't have, you can't do. But I will tell you, like Kingston said, you can, you must, and you will. If it's to be, it's going to be me. You got to say it. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be.
Barbara is because she believed what her mama said about her and not what other people told her.
Every day you wake up, when you're in a situation, it's your choice whether it's an advantage or the disadvantage.
She gained her confidence and her life, and now she is a testimony.
If I can help you elevate yourself, then I feel like I'm elevating my own self as well. What you know and I know together can change the world.
We're back. We're back.
We're back.
Yep.
Now, I have to ask you because it was just burning for me during that break. You mentioned that you're from Nigeria. How much is financial literacy pushed in Nigeria? Is it more or less than here? Because I feel like here, unless you specialize in it, you know, you don't really hear about it. You have to find it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not being pushed or talked about, because again, financial literacy, people are trying to survive in Africa. I mean, when I was growing up, people are trying to make it. But now with today's world, things are changing. Because of social media, a lot of people are able to tap into knowledge that wasn't available before, that you couldn't see in the past. So yeah. So today's world, it makes it easy for you to be able to go on YouTube and learn from experts that have shared their knowledge on YouTube. It makes it easy for you to go on different social media platforms or follow someone or watch a podcast, and learn and get educated, because you don't have to wait for your family members or your country to provide it. You could just tap in and get education. Now, some things might not apply to your country, but some things might apply. So you never know. You get the knowledge and start using it. But when I was growing up, there was nothing for me. I mean, I was young too. I left when I was 18 years old, so there was nothing for me to use to learn anything about. I was trying to get out of the country. That's what I was trying to do there.
But you have such a great disposition. You may have been trying to get out of the country, but you've come to this country and you've made quite a name for yourself and your businesses. And I am so excited and elated to have met you on the Black Business Expo. Right here on Pod TV and the Black Business Network, we met Douglas Eza. And I immediately knew he was somebody that I wanted to have as a partner in crime, though, as a partner in business. So what I would suggest, and my thoughts were going a million miles a minute while Shani was asking you questions. And I thought to myself, what a brilliant idea to have referrals from our business, BHS and Associates, to Douglas's business. When we're helping business owners, what we do is help business owners exceed and excel in their businesses. And so as BHS and Associates and the Empowering You Show come together to build business owners, what a great thing to do that we're going to start, I promise you that, is referring them, business owners, to your business, Largo Financial Services, so that they can understand how to maximize their money potential and how they can not only do that for their business, but for their personal lives and families. Great idea. Thank you for giving me that. I definitely will take you up on that offer. We'll talk more about it soon.
Very simple fact, right?
Sounds good.
Now, you've been featured in Profile Magazine and Power Broker Magazine as one of the top 25 wealth builders and financial professionals in the Tampa Bay area. Can you tell me how someone even gets the knowledge to qualify for such high levels of excellence? We're just going to call it excellence.
I mean, it's from just years of learning, acquiring knowledge, working with different mentors, and just understanding the financial service industry, and just wanted to be different from every advisor out there and do something different. You can't do the same thing everyone is doing. You got to find a way to create your own path. You want to be successful, got to find a solution to people's problems, right? And I just figured out, you know what? I need to find a solution to a problem. What is the biggest problem we all have? Saving money and getting rid of debt, and all the traditional messages that we've gotten, which is all about you need to invest more money, you need to save more money, you need to do all this. But when we keep focusing on all those things, but we're not focusing on where we're losing money, it will be very, very hard to save money if you're still losing the money. So we want to try to plug the holes in our financial bucket first before we start putting money inside of it. Because, we got taxes is a big financial hole. A lot of people lose a lot of money in taxes because every dollar you earn, 40% of your dollar goes to taxes. A lot of people don't think about that. And then interest on debt, that's another big place we lose money. So between the interest you're paying to banks, which is about another 35% of your dollar. So between the bank and the government, that's 75% of your wealth that's gone. 75%. And it's structured for them to take the money from you. The government is looking to use other people's money. Because the government, they don't print money, they use other people's money by taxes.
The government is broke.
They don't print money, they use other people's money, buy the money you deposit in their account and the interest they make on debt that they're servicing.
So what makes you different, Asa?
So one thing that makes me different is, I find ways to help my clients find money in places that they're losing money or throwing money away unknowingly because they don't know they're doing it, and unnecessarily, we could help them fix it. And we found that there's 5 areas that a lot of people are throwing money away unknowingly and unnecessary. One is the way they cut, taxes. The other one is the way they make major capital purchase. Mortgages, the houses that we buy, there's a lot of wealth transfers that we call mortgages. Qualified plans, how they save money for their future. College education planning for their kids. All those 5 areas are places that people are always constantly throwing money away unknowingly and unnecessarily.
Oh, you said qualified plans. You're talking about IRAs and 401ks. People are throwing money away there.
Yeah, 401k, IRA, TSP, 403b, all those accounts. There's a lot of wealth transfers that occur there that people are not even aware of, the way they contribute to those accounts.
Wait, you can't leave us there. That's like a cliffhanger.
Yeah, explain more. How are you throwing the money? I'm thinking 401k, they're contributing. Okay.
Yeah.
They're giving you a part of what you're putting in. How is that? Explain your statement about throwing away money through that.
All right, let's talk about it. So, for example, there's some companies that match and there's some companies that don't match. So definitely, if you're with a company that does not match, then you definitely don't need to be putting money in that account. That's a no-no. There's other accounts that you could put money in. We'll talk about that when you come on a one-on-one class. The second one is a company that match. If you have a company that's matching, then just do up to the match. And if you have a company that is giving the money away, regardless of if you put anything in there, then just take their match, the money they put in, and then use your money to do other things. So how do you throw money away in those accounts? Well, first off, remember what I talked about, the 4 C's when it comes to putting money away. Control. You don't have control of the money to go into that account. So you lose control. Second, when you want to use your money to go make more money, you don't have quick access to it. So you could get hit with penalty and taxes, especially if there's an emergency that you need to use it for. So that's a problem. And then you're not even in control of where the money is being invested in. So if it's in the market, it goes up, that's called speculation. It goes up, it comes down. It goes up, it comes down. What if it comes down the day you're looking to retire? Or a week before you retire? Or a month before you retire? Or a year before you retire? What if it comes down? That's a problem. So we need to solve that problem and put your money in the right place.
Well, you solved that problem for me right quick.
Yeah, who thought? And I want to say big hello to Stephanie out there of Love Misunderstood Institute. She said, hey, everybody.
And I didn't forget you, Stephanie. Don't think I did. I'm just articulating my words and cultivating my words to send to you.
I'm now that is one of the main things. The first thing somebody tells, if your job has a 401k, you need to make sure you're getting in that. And they match at 3% or 4%, and you think, oh, I'm going to put in 6. I'm going to be even better than that. They got me. That's what you're saying. They got me.
I mean, the thing is this, you do up to the 3%, and then take the other one and put into an account. Because remember, always think about it. This is what's happening when you put money in the 401k. This is the deal that's going on. Let's say you and I are going to go into business, together, Shani. And I said to you, I want you to, give me a business proposal. This is my business proposal to you. My business proposal to you, I'm saying, Shani, you're going to put up all the money for the business. Shani, you're going to manage the business on a day-to-day basis. Shani, 30 years from now, I'm going to tell you how much you owe me. How good of a business arrangement is that? Would you do that business with me? Will you go into?
No, but that's now common sense now, right? And that is never how anybody who is ignorant to the whole situation would ever think about it.
Right.
Right. And that's what happens.
Place for pension, they don't have pensions anymore, right? So we think we're doing a good thing.
Exactly.
We got to get you exposed to more people.
Now, let me ask you something about life insurance. Someone has a large term policy, right? You're 30 years and you're 10 years in. Now we know what's going to happen 20 years from now. Do you suggest that they get rid of the term now and do a cash value policy? I know that depending on your age, that might not even be an option, but I don't know. What do you do? What do you suggest?
No, I mean, because the first things first to realize, why did I get the policy? It's like, term is like renting an apartment. Casual life insurance is like buying a house. So if you're in a position to be able to purchase a house, then buy the house, right? Now, what are you buying the house for? Is the question. Are you buying a house because you want to live in the house? So that's a different deal. Then you buy life insurance because you want the protection on your life. So that's one. Second question is, are you buying the house as an investment property? Meaning you're going to make investment income. If that's the case, then you need to design the life insurance strictly for an opportunity for you to use it to go make more money. So term insurance is a temporary situation to protect your family in case something happens. It has its place. Just like if I want to go out to find a shelter for myself, right, to live, it's a shelter. The first thing I'm going to do, I don't want to live on the street, so I'm going to go rent an apartment until I fix whatever situation is going on in my credit to be able to purchase a house, which is buying a house, which means I'm now renting from the bank. If I'm going to live in the house, I'm renting from the bank. I'm hoping my house builds equity, depending on the neighborhood that I bought it in, right? And equity takes time to build. So I'm not going to just buy a house today and all of a sudden, unless I bought it at a really, really, really high discount. Same thing with life insurance. You're building equity. So the way you look at life insurance, especially casual life insurance, when you buy it, there's three ways you could pay. The first way is you could either pay interest only, which is just pay for the life insurance coverage, which is term insurance. With term insurance, you're just paying for the death benefit in case you die. I call that interest only. The second way to do it is principal and interest. That's buying a house. You're paying principal and interest. Now you're building some type of equity in there, because as you pay your principal and interest, the interest goes to the bank. The principal gives you equity. The third way is you make extra payment. So now you have extra payment going, who helps build equity a little bit faster, in addition to the neighborhood appreciation. The only problem with a house, making extra payment in a house, is you don't earn any interest on that extra payment. So with life insurance, when you make extra payment in life insurance, you're earning interest, which builds your equity a lot faster inside the insurance policy, so you could access money a lot faster.
Do you see the light bulb going off? I can tell that kind of thing really gets you going too. I can see that.
Oh yeah.
People learning, you're like, my work.
You see the passion in his voice.
Oh,
We love it.
who ever thought to explain it that way? Like,
Yeah. So
bamboozled.
I appreciate the level of professionalism and passion that you have for this industry, because most people are like, stab me in the eye with a fork when you talk about life insurance, right? But you have this passion for life insurance and helping people, which is the root cause of why you do what you do. I am so excited for the ongoing relationships that we're going to send your way because of the information that you've provided to us. Do you agree, Shani?
I'm all in. I need to be the first one on the calendar, actually, because I've been I mean, you don't think about it like that. And many times people who know what you know or at that level that know so much feel like, whether they say it or not, they give you this energy like, I found it out. I figured it out. You need to do the work to figure it out. And instead, you are breaking it down in something that's very easy to understand and giving analogies that you're like,
yeah, because I love his bucket analogy. The bucket has
big terms and like, I don't know what that is. So what we do, we end up just staying broke, staying ignorant.
Right. So I'm gonna confess. I sat down with Douglas. I took him up on the one-on-one conversation, and he said, "You got holes in your buckets." I said, okay. He was nice about it, but he was like, "These are the holes. Now, what are you gonna do? The water's leaking out. In other words, your money's leaking out. What are you gonna do about it?" There's a hole in the bucket, dear Elijah. I need to fix it. And so I'm excited to say I am one of Douglas's clients. I am not embarrassed to say it at all, that if you don't know how to fix the holes in your buckets, you need to call Douglas Aza. Douglas, how do we get in touch with you?
Yeah, definitely. We got the calendar up on the screen, but just go to my website. My calendar is on there, Douglas, LagoFinancialServices.com. We're rebuilding the website, but you could still get the old one and tap in, and there's a lot of free resources there. Just educate yourself, tap into it. And then if you're looking to just jump right in and say, you know what, I got it, I'm good, and I need to just take advantage of what he's talking about, and I want to book a session, you could go on this other website called HaveMoneyForever.com. HaveMoneyForever.com is a course that I've put together that will kind of help you with your mindset, shift pretty fast. And then we'll definitely jump on right after that, and we could do a one-on-one consultation as well if you want. It's up to you. No pressure here, no stress here. Just tap in.
HaveMoneyForever.com.
Yeah, HaveMoneyForever.com. And he said no pressure, no stress, totally stress-free. The only stress was I had stress because I realized I had holes in my bucket. But besides that, there was no sales push. There was no, you got to buy this today. There was none of that. He's had that same smile on his face that he has right now, because I can imagine, he didn't say this, I don't know this for sure, but I want you to smile real, real big if I hit it on the head, okay? I can imagine when he sat down with me and sits down with other people, he goes in his mind, yeah, they need my help. And they need my help bad. And I hope they make the decision that they need my help. So he did. He smiled real big.
I'd say that was a big smile. I would say.
At the end of the day, right, is this. I believe when people are ready, you don't need to. If you're hungry for food, nobody has to pressure you to go find. You're going to get up, especially when you know where the food is. You'll get yourself up and go make the food and eat. Now, if you don't have the food, then it's a different situation, but you're going to still get up and go beg and get food. So I don't believe in, pressuring people and calling you every day. I don't chase people down. I share my knowledge. You take it, great. You don't, my life still continues, because there's millions of people that still need the services. And I haven't read them all yet.
That's a great philosophy. Shawnee, your last takes before we get Douglas's last takes.
Well, I tell you one thing. Right after this show, I'm going to be going on to havemoneyforever.com. But I'm going to figure out what my interest rate is for the money that I wanted to spend this weekend because I got to pay myself back. And I might make it like a predatory payday loan for myself because it really is something that I don't need. But
You're so
I am just so excited about this information and the ease of it all because this was like financial literacy for dummies for me because I'm like,
Douglas is very good at what he does.
What do you mean? I'm not taking advantage of my 401k. You know, thank you so much.
You did a great job, Shawnee, hosting the show. I really appreciate you. Douglas, what's your last take out for people?
Yeah, so just to quickly give somebody a tip that might be thinking, for those of you who could quickly look at your car insurance, for those of you that pay for car insurance, right? You pay that car insurance, you need to look at that and see what is your deductible on that. If your deductible is less than $500 or $250, you need to raise it to $1,000 and save some money on the premium that you're paying every month. I don't care if it's $20 you save every month. That's $240 a year right there. That's $240 that can grow for you in the future. So every little money you're making that's going away that you need to be putting away, you need to recapture that dollar immediately.
And that's a tip. Yeah. We've run out of time, Shawnee.
Because this was good. My bucket has so many holes in it. Yeah, it's practically not even a bucket. If I lifted it up, the whole bottom will fall out.
Listen, we've had a great time with you, Douglas. We will be in touch. I promise you that. Shawnee, thank you so much for having a great show today. I love you guys from Riverside, California, and we are out of here. Don't forget, reach out to us at www.barbarahsmith.com. We've got some phenomenal things coming up, not least of which is a change to the show platform. If you're interested in being on the show, contact support@barbarahsmith.com for more details. If you are looking for a speaker, trainer, coach, contact barbarahsmith.com. If you want to see more things like this, go to the Bitly link, bit.ly/BHS, capital lowercase letters, and then YouTube. Thank you so much, Douglas. We love the information that you presented today. You have really opened our eyes to a lot of things. We appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule and being here with us on the Empowering You Show. Thank you so much, Shawnee.
And if you have a moment, Douglas, if you could hang out in the green room for a sec, because I need to make sure you're aware before you get my Calendly link, because I'm making my appointment. All right. And you know what time it is. It's time for you.
You know what time it is.
To step into your greatness, because the world is waiting for you.
Waiting for you.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Douglas, for saving the people, because we need the help. Thank you.
Welcome.
Engage, inspire, empower. That's what I help you do as a celebrity, speaker, trainer, and coach. Hi, I'm Barbara H. Smith, known as the Masterful Presenter. I am the one that can help you dig deep inside your passions and deep inside your life to get you to the place you always dreamed.
I had the pleasure of hearing Miss Barbara Holmes Smith speak today, and just from her speaking to me today, I have realized that I need to have personalized my alter ego and be able to put myself out here a lot more.
I help through speaking techniques, teaching you how to use your words and your body language to inspire people to come up higher.
Today's presentation with Ms. Barbara was just outstanding. She has really helped me with her personality, with her being so genuine and passionate about what she believes in and helping to coach, train. Her sense of humor, her energy is just incredible.
How do I do that? By coaching and speaking and training. I help you with whatever it is that you want to do next. What is your next? Are you ready to take your life, your career to the next level? I can get you there. Contact me at www.barbarahsmith.com.